What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to the Picks and Parlays Power Hour, where all we do is talk football. That's right. We're talking some NFL. We got college football. I've got Sean Higgs coming in to talk about the NFC East. Ross Benjamin is here talking about the Big 12. And Nick Parsons from the Insiders Room is here to talk about the Saints. Before we get this party started, I gotta pay a few bills here. All right. First, everybody do me a solid. Hit the like, hit the subscribe button, and then ring that little bell for notifications. There's a trick to it, right? When you ring the bell, you get an alert on your phone letting you know that we've gone live with more free content for you. That's more money making opportunities for you. Okay. Important stuff. And then another money making opportunity, get signed up with our official sponsor, BetMGM. Up to $1,000 and a risk-free first bet for all new accounts that sign up with BetMGM. So download that app onto your phone. Use the promo code MORNING, MORNING. Just that easy. That's how you claim your promo, or you can check out the description of this video and click on that link. That'll get you right there. All right, so let's start this off. We're going to talk NFC East with Sean Higgs from Winning Free Picks. What's up with the get down, Sean Higgs?
NFC East, my favorite, because I'm a Cowboy guy.
Right.
But we'll start with Dallas here in order of what the odds makers think, and it's they were a plus 130 win this division, and I'm pretty sure if my tiny little pea-sized brain that rolls down the 12-lane highway remembers correctly, I think I did the Dallas win total out of the gate here, one of the shows.
Yes.
And how are they? I don't know how they're favored to win. I don't like the coach. You got a quarterback with one wide receiver. I mean, I was reading an article that's saying they might go after somebody the Giants cut a wide receiver. I mean, is that? Yeah, because the Giants' offense has just been a juggernaut the last few years. Can't even put up 20 points a game.
Yeah,
A lot of problems with this.
Last in that conference
I mean,
at a plus 750 to win that division.
That'll be the last team we cover out of the four here. But you're down a couple offensive linemen. You got a banged up offensive lineman. So 3/5 of your offensive line's questionable. Your best running back is on the bench because the guy ahead of him makes $30 million a year, whatever the heck Zeke is making. How are they favored? I don't know. We did the schedule. I'm not going to run down every team's schedule because that would be just an hour a team here. But this is not an easy batch. And their best defensive player, people love Diggs for them. I mean, this cornerback, okay, it's great. He's got interceptions. I got interception every game. He's also giving up 90 yards because if he misses the ball, the guy is off to the races. So plus 130, no, that's a pass. And your second team up here, Philly. They're a plus 170. And now I can see people want to jump on them, right? Everybody likes, oh, it's Hurts, it's Sirianni. He's going to take a step forward. They bring in Adams. It's, new running back by committees. They're healthy, should be okay. Who'd they bring in? Brown from Tennessee. I get it. You get some talent here. Do people forget that they loved Hurts so much that they were looking at Watson to trade for Deshaun Watson and Russell Wilson not 3 months ago? But now all of a sudden we're going to the promised land with Jalen Hurts. And we'll talk about a bunch of these defenses. And I've said this before in the shows. I just feel a good defense. It's kind of catch lightning in a bottle, right? Somebody's getting hot. A defense just kind of plays. The NFL now, you chuck it. It's a pass interference call. First and goal on the 1, or you're, 3rd and 27, and you throw the ball for first down, and you're on the other team's 36. So as far as I consider, defenses it's a crapshoot. Obviously you have some stud guys who make plays, stuff like that. But again, Phillies run of the mill pack as far as I'm concerned. 170, not interested. Not interested. And the funny thing about this one, and you got Ross coming up. I was doing a show Ross last week. They're actually favored in 12 of their games. And their win total is 10. And I'm like, I don't see them winning 10 games. I don't even know how. Again, Philly, maybe a sneaky good team. I'm going to tell you, I already bet Lions week 1. But no Eagles for me here for the division. And the commies up next, the Washington Commanders. Plus 500. The commies. They were called when they were Redskins, they were the Skins. Now they're the commies.
Yeah, the irony of that is that one name was mildly offensive, and now this name is kind of mildly offensive also, for that matter. So excellent work, Washington. Let's keep going.
Go back to the other team that didn't bother anybody for 50 years. Everybody liked the Redskins. I love the Smurfs. Anyway, that's a whole nother. We'll do that show another day. The
All
offensive
right,
show
all
of
right.
the Redskins and Indians and why their team
Jeez.
names got changed.
But plus 500 on those suckers. What do you
Yeah,
got for me on this one?
and I kind of like Riverboat Ron. Right, he's a fun
Yeah.
guy to back. But what have you done for me lately here? New quarterback. I don't know. Kind of familiar with the NFC East, I guess. Right. I believe Carson Wentz might have played a game or two around here.
I've
Kind
heard
of
of them.
familiar with the teams. Right. I don't know. But skill position wise, I don't like this team one bit. I don't. I know. But I look at this roster. I'm like, what? Who? It's like Major League. Who are these guys?
Right.
What? And again, plus 500. Again, Dallas gets the love for whatever reason. This team is 8-9 or 8-8 or 9-8, whatever the new records are. That's a 500 team for the last 20 years. The Eagles kind of look like they do something. All right, Washington. No, it's a no play. Here we go, though. Bottom of the barrel.
Plus 750.
And I'm running to take the Giants here. And I saw on like TikTok and Twitter, people post a video of like Dan Jones just throwing the ball everywhere. Like, man, this team looks pathetic and he looks horrible. I like the coach they bring in from Buffalo. Kind of like he says he's going to start playing the guys, the old change the culture kind of thing. They do have some talent here, right? I mean, it's just, but the play calling under Judge was horrendous. I mean, it's like, hey, it's a 3rd and 19 from our own 4. Let's line up in a I formation. We're going to try to run the ball, 3 straight times from the 6 to get a first down. I don't think Judge is going to do that. They got a new OC coming to town here, so I expect him to throw the ball. And as Daniel Jones, I don't know how much he's got left in the tank here for Giants, but they got Tyrod Taylor. And this guy was a starting quarterback, and he was not halfway bad. I don't know. I'm looking at I talk about defensive schedule in a bottle. Why am I not going to be shocked here when the Giants somehow win like 10 games and win this division? I mean, I've seen Dallas fall on their face left and right. Philly, I don't know. Hurts maybe takes that jump forward. He could very well be like, you know what? I got a chip on my shoulder. You wanted Watson. You wanted Wilson.
That's a good call.
The teams. I understand that. Like, obviously, I'm going with the crazy pick 750, but Philly would be my probably second based on everything that they have going on there. But I'm going to take the Giants here. I really think we'll see a new quarterback come into play here. I don't think Daniel Jones lasts the whole year. So Barkley, who knows what the run game goes, but 750 I think is worth a shot here with a Dabo coming to town.
So let me do a little just rapid fire for you. Okay. So out of the 4 of them, which one has the strongest offense?
I'm going to have to say Philly. I mean, I know people are going to love it. It's CeeDee Lamb. Okay. That's all it is. It's CeeDee Lamb, a second-year guy. I can't. I like Pollard, but no, I'm going to say Philly number 1.
Okay, so who has the strongest defense?
I'm going to go Washington.
Okay, that was my pick too on that one.
I'm like Washington. I mean, they were. I thought they would be good like 2 years ago. They kind of wet the bed, but I just something tells me that's the team that's going to have the better defense. Dallas is no. Eagles are always has a hot mess. Either they have no they have no defensive line and pass rush, or their secondary is a bunch of guys they're picking up because half the team gets hurt by week 4. So,
all right.
And then there's the Giants. The Giants, I have nothing positive to say other than they have nowhere to go but up, and this division to me is wide open.
Yeah, I would agree with this division is wide open. It's kind of like the worst of the worst. Like who's the smartest kid on the short bus kind of a thing. Who has the best coaching staff out of the 4?
I don't even know.
Pass.
I mean, I hate McCarthy.
You want to phone a friend?
I mean, McCarthy could say he went to a Super Bowl. The guy had Aaron Rodgers. Are we really going out on a limb by saying that guy's a good coach? I mean, you should have won probably more when you had him as your quarterback. So I'm going to give him a no. Sirianni's still young. Maybe Rivera because he's kind of like
my pick on that one too.
I'm going to say him. And Giants got a new guy. Well, who knows what he's going to be? He's okay as a coordinator. You got a bunch of new coordinators, offensive, defensive. Giants, you got to put a big question mark next to their coaching staff. You see how they all play into right. Everything's brand new down there.
Yep. Here we go. I like when things are brand new. No one necessarily has the book on you when you're brand new, which is kind of why I like your Giants pick is, we saw it with Justin Hebert a few years ago. Like no one knew this kid and here he
Yeah.
is just firing away and rocking people's socks off. We talk about it all the time. No one's got the book on you. How are they going to write plays against you kind of a thing?
Yep.
Okay. So your final decision, final answer, no takesies, backsies. We're going to roll with the Giants.
Giants
plus
750. Yes.
Let's freaking go. Let's
And
freaking go. I mean,
I understand people. Listen, people don't like taking like plus 140 underdogs in baseball. So I'm sure people will be like, I'm not taking a 7. So if you want to go, Philly would be my number 2 to kind of more of I guess a public play, I guess, or small fave, little plus money. But I don't know. Something tells me the Giants new regime comes in and they get right finally. I mean, it seems been bad. 4 wins, 5 wins, 4 wins the last couple of years. So yeah,
do you think are the Cowboys the favorite in this division because they are the Cowboys and it's just that public betting money, like the odds makers hanging it because everyone loves the Cowboys?
It's the Cowboys. It's the Cowboys tax. Plus, you have the best quarterback in division in Dak, right? So everybody's going to run to Dak. It's Dak, and you got CD, and it's like, wow, but who's after CD? They just lost their backup wide receiver.
That's a problem.
Jarwin, the tight end's going to be. I mean, it's going to be we're going to play with 2 tight ends and CD Lamb and Zeke. Let's bring it back to 87, folks. It'll be great. It'll be great. All right. Great football in Dallas.
Get it going. All right, Sean Higgs, thank you so much for joining us. His official pick for the NFC East. We're going to roll with the Giants at plus 750. Check out Sean Higgs over at picksandparlays.net. He's always at the top of the leaderboards. That's where you're going to find his best bets, his premium plays over at picksandparlays.net, and use that promo code CFL. That'll save you 20% off whatever you buy from Higgs. I'll check you out on Midday Money tomorrow at noon Eastern, every single day at noon Eastern, Midday Money with Sean Higgs. Thanks a lot for coming by the Power Hour, Higgs.
Take it easy.
All right, everybody.
Hi again.
Oh my God. That was crazy, man. I didn't know what was happening. All right, guys. So before we dive into the Big 12, I want to remind everybody, like and subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. We want everyone subscribed onto the Max Wagers Network. It's where all your free content, free picks are coming from. Lots of value there. And also a lot of value when you get signed up with BetMGM. Up to $1,000 in a risk-free first bet for all new accounts. Just download the app onto your phone and use the promo code MORNING. You can also check out the description of this video and click on the link. That will get you hooked up with BetMGM. Up next to talk some Big 12 action, I've got Ross Benjamin here. Mr. Benjamin, how are you today, sir?
Boy, oh boy, the second show today with Miss Allison. We got to stop seeing each other like this.
Well, I'm a busy girl. What can I say?
Hey, let me say this. I am all for the Giants at plus 750. I loved Sean Higgs's segment there. I do believe that you have no idea how good of a head coach you're going to get in an offensive mind you're going to get with Brian Daboll. He took a quarterback named Josh Allen, who was making a ton of mistakes when he took over as offensive coordinator, and he ascended every year. He'll do this. Daniel Jones is not going to be Josh Allen, but Daniel Jones will be the best version of himself with Brian Daboll. So,
and how do you think Mike Kafka's addition to that squad is going to help out Daniel Jones?
I'm sorry?
The new offensive coordinator, Mike Kafka, how is his addition to the team?
He's basically just one of those guys that has the title. It's Daboll's show. He's going to be overseeing everything offensively. He'll be calling the plays. It's like a lot of situations we've seen in the past, Allison, where you have a guy who got the job because he's been an elite offensive coordinator. You have to appoint somebody to control that room during the week, but on game day, it's going to be Daboll doing the deal. But that was a great breakdown, and the NFC East, I enjoyed that. Anyway, and by the way, to Mr. Trapp, we formed a union in the last 5 minutes, and Sean Higgs is the union leader. That's so.
I'm in charge of the potlucks and the fundraisers.
I just go with the flow. So anyway. Let me put
So
my glasses on, Ellison, so I can
we're
get
going to
serious.
talk some Big 12. We've got Oklahoma at a plus 225, followed by Texas, Oklahoma State, Baylor. Those are the top 4 in the conference as it stands now. Right at the bottom, we've got West Virginia, Iowa State, Texas Tech, and Kansas. What are you thinking, Ross? What are you thinking? Who do you like? Who do you not like? A lot of ground to cover here, so we'll try to keep it contained for you all.
Yeah, Iowa State lose. I mean, I like Matt Campbell, great coach. He's done good things in Ames. But you lose Brock Purdy, who's your 4-year starter.
Yeah.
You lose the running back that went in the first round to the Jets. I don't see them being a factor. And again, when we're talking the Big 12 race, that is not a bowl bid or a winning season. We're talking about who's going to win the Big 12, right, Ellison?
Right, exactly.
So
Who wins
West Virginia, I just don't. Yeah, I don't see it, because until they start having more balance between offense and defense, and I'm not crazy about Neil Brown. Texas Tech, no. Again, a team that just doesn't play defense, and until they prove they can, I don't see them being a factor. Nothing more but good TV. Kansas, look, do we need to even comment on Kansas?
plus 25,000,
yeah,
not 100,000.
Yeah. And I would say they're probably plus 700 just to win a game in the Big 12.
There you go.
Yeah, so I don't like Oklahoma. And
me neither. I'm from Texas.
Yeah. So anyway, I'll get to that. I don't like Oklahoma simply for the fact it's we're going through a coaching change there in an elite conference. I like Brent Venable as a defensive coordinator. He's unproven as a head coach. He takes over for Lincoln Riley, who bolted for USC, and Riley took Caleb Williams with him. He also, the backup quarterback, Spencer Rattler, who was a 5-star coming out of high school, he's transferred to South Carolina. And Dylan Gabriel comes in, the transfer from Central Florida. Playing in the Big 12 will be much different than playing in the American Conference. So, I don't see Oklahoma here, especially at those odds of plus 200. I think you could find better value.
Because they are the favorite in the conference, which is, like you said, with the coaching change, especially. I mean, Lincoln Riley was kind of the skin and bones of that team for me. And with him being gone, that's a problem.
I mean, don't you think it's more for a brand name than anything else?
100%. It's like we were talking about the Cowboys. Yeah, it's just you're paying for the name at this point. The Cowboys tax, as he called it.
Yeah.
It's the Sooner tax.
And then Oklahoma State, look, I mean, Mike Gundy continues to do good things at Oklahoma State, but the thing is they hung their hat on their defense mostly last year, and they had an unbelievable year on that side of the ball. But they lose their defensive coordinator, Jim Knowles, who took off to assume the same roles with Ohio State. They got to replace 7 starters on that side of the ball. And I just don't see them being a factor in the race. I think they're going to be a good team. They may win 9 games or so. But to win the Big 12, you're going to have to be, at the most, lose 1 game in the Big 12, and I don't see that happening with Oklahoma State. Now,
especially with replacing all those players, that's a rough move to make right there.
Yeah, and a defensive coordinator, too. I mean, you can't undervalue that. He did wonders on that side of the ball. Texas, plus 280. That's the team I've really got an eye on. I mean, Steve Sarkisian coming off a disappointing 5-7 year. Yet he was able to haul in the 5th best recruiting class in the country. The big thing. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
He didn't haul him in. He hooked him.
He hooked him, baby. Hook him horns. And also they bring in 5-star quarterback Quinn Ewers from Ohio State. Ewers. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Anyway, and Heisman hopeful running back Bijan Robinson returns, and he had 1,422 yards from scrimmage last year and 15 touchdowns. So Texas was a much better team than their 5-7 record indicated last year. They lost some tough, close games. And in the second year in Sarkisian's tenure, I think we're going to see vast improvement. I would not be shocked whatsoever. And as a matter of fact, I am going to take a flyer on the Texas Longhorns here. I think they're going to be one of the surprise teams in the country this year, and they're going to win the Big 12. And at odds of plus 280, I love it. So, and Quinn Ewers from Ohio State, it's not a bad thing when you leave Ohio State as a quarterback. Just ask Joe Burrow, who went to LSU and won the Heisman, and now is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. What was the last? I mean, I'm going to pick not only your brain, but anybody else out there viewing. When was the last time Ohio State really had a quarterback that made it in the NFL? How about never? I don't know. I can't think of one off the top of my head. Anyway, I'll say this, Allison. One team to keep an eye on as a sleeper is Kansas State at plus 1,200. I would, if I'm going to take a shot at a team to really surprise this year, I think it might be them. I really like Chris Kleeman. He's a disciplined coach. His teams are, they don't beat themselves. They're not flashy, but he brings in Adrian Martinez. Now, he took a lot of heat as the quarterback at Nebraska, but this guy started 38 games at Nebraska and set 15 school records, and I just don't think I'm not crazy about Frost as a head coach. I just think that what's going to happen here is he's going to eliminate those mistakes he's been making for the last few years because he felt like the weight of the world was on his shoulders. And Chris Kleeman has that effect, Ellie, where he's going to tell the guy, look, play within yourself. His quarterbacks are never flashy, but they're efficient. And if he can get that out of Adrian Martinez with his natural talent, he's probably the most talented quarterback Kleeman has had since he's been there. I don't think I'm going out on a limb by saying that. I wouldn't doubt it whatsoever if in mid-November we're talking about Kansas State still having a chance to win the Big 12. So there you have it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well. So who is your official
pick? Is Texas.
Okay, that's my pick too. I like with Texas. I like that they have that little kind of quarterback competition going on with Hudson Card and the new guy Ewers. I kind of like that too because I think was it you who was talking the Jets last week on the Power Hour?
No, it wasn't me.
Okay, it was something about the preseason, Jets preseason, because it's the Allison talk. The Seattle Seahawks preseason. Was that you? With Geno Smith and Drew Lock going head to head, it kind of gives you that little competitive battle going on. And I like that when you're not locked in as the starting quarterback, there is someone behind you that can take your place real quick, and Texas has that going on. So that's kind of part of my angle is I like that about them.
Yeah. And, that's a whole different animal. And I certainly not scoffing at what you just said, but that makes Seattle more dangerous in the preseason than it will be in the regular season.
That's all I was saying was for preseason. Seattle. Yeah.
Okay,
preseason. That's why I went to the Jets because it was Geno Smith, but no, it's Seattle. But yeah, that's why I was digging them preseason week 1, especially because I think those two are going to be going at it. This is year long. And then what else it does for Texas is if one gets injured, you've got a backup. You've got a decent, solid backup there for you because as we know, anything can happen throughout the season. So especially
who would have thought Spencer Rattler wasn't going to be the quarterback of the future for Oklahoma? You know what I mean? Yeah. And then the other kid comes in and now he's off to USC with Lincoln Riley. So in college football, when you have two good quarterbacks, it's not like the NFL. If you have two quarterbacks, you really don't have one. That's not the case in college football.
Right. All right, Ross Benjamin. Tell the people what you're all about over at picksandparlays.net when they're looking for your premium plays.
Well, first full week of the NFL preseason, I'm excited about that. I know, again, I said it on the other show and I'll say it again. There's that school of thought out there that people think they can't make money on the NFL preseason, that there's no way to win on the NFL preseason. Well, I beg to differ. I've had 4 top 10 finishes in the NFL preseason since 2010, and last year 11-6, including I've gone 9-2 with my last 11, which includes a Hall of Fame game winner on the Jags and the Raiders over the total. And I'll have anywhere from 3 to 4 picks from Thursday through Sunday in the NFL preseason. Folks, you can make a lot of money with me. 68-50 and with my NFL preseason picks, independently documented since 2012. That's good for 58%. That's good for a lot of money. My Major League Baseball 10-star top plays continue to roll 60% since the beginning of last year. Dime players are up over 16 grand with those plays over that course of time. So a lot of good things, not only for myself, Ellison, but there's a couple boys along with me over there at picksandparlays.net and our new formed union led by Sean Higgs that would do very well.
Fight the man. Yes, we've got a great group of cappers over at picksandparlays.net. Use that promo code CFL. Save yourself 20% when you're over at the site. Ross Benjamin, thank you kindly, sir. We're going to roll with Texas in the Big 12. That's who we think is winning that conference. I'll see you next time. Don't forget, guys, Ross Benjamin, this Thursday on Morning Wood at 1 p.m. Eastern. He's coming on the show to let us know preseason betting tips. Lots of great information out of Ross. We'll see you on Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern on Morning Wood, Ross. Thanks so much.
Thank you for having me, and I look forward to it, Ellie.
All right. Up next, I've got Nick Parsons with the Insiders Room, but we got to pay those bills. BetMGM. Download the app onto your phone. Use the promo code MORNING and scoop up your $1,000 risk-free first bet for all new accounts. It's kind of a big deal. Also, like and subscribe, man. Ring that bell. We do this stuff all day long. This is my third show today. You know that? I got another one later. We got content rolling out all day long. You guys don't want to miss any of our free picks. Now, up next, I've got Nick Parsons from the Insiders Room. Second time I've seen you today, sir. How's it going?
Yeah, not bad. I just would like to say I also approve of Sean's pick there with the Giants. I had the over 7.5 wins on the Power Hour a couple of weeks there for the Giants. And so, yeah, I really like that play as well. When you look at that division, definitely the Cowboys look like they're going to drop off. It would appear anyways.
It's funny because in that division, like the worst of the worst in betting odds literally is the worst, but that's the one we think is the best. And sometimes that's the brain that you've got to have if you want to make money in this, in betting. Yep. And I know you're a huge contrarian bettor. That's how you roll. Contrary and situational plays. That's how you roll. And we're going to talk a little NFC South. We're going with the New Orleans Saints today. They're a plus 335 to win their division, just behind the Bucks, above the Panthers and the Falcons. What are you looking at on regular season win totals for the Saints?
So set at 8.5. And so they move into this season without a longtime coach, Sean Payton. And of course, Drew Brees is long gone. And so they have that 8.5 number there. So I think they're getting a lot of respect from the odds makers with that number. So defensive coordinator, Dennis Allen, he's now the head coach. He'll be looking to get his team back on track, back into the playoffs. They missed out last season now, and that was even after starting the year 5-2. Jameis Winston, he got injured. He tore his ACL, and that was a big reason why New Orleans went 4-6 over its last 10 games. But I mean, Winston, he's back under center now. New Orleans remains, as you said, just behind the Bucks to win the division. New Orleans has a pretty tough schedule as well, though, this year. It's tied for 7th in strength of schedule. But to put that into comparison, the Bucks have the 4th hardest schedule. And so that is sort of working in New Orleans' favor here for the division, if they could to pull off the division. And to begin with, Winston and the Saints, they have a somewhat easy schedule to start with here. So let's take a look. Over the first 3 weeks, they have road games at the Falcons and Panthers. So those two are bottom feeders for sure in this division. There's a week 2 matchup with the Bucks at home. But really, the Saints have had Brady's number since he's come over from Tampa. So there's a real possibility that New Orleans could start the year 3-0. After that, they do have 3 straight winnable games against Minnesota and London. Followed by 2 home games versus the Seahawks and Bengals. And I know, Ellie, that you're a Bengals fan, but I mean, if any team is going to do a little bit of regression here, it would appear that surely Cincinnati would after reaching the Super Bowl. So they could easily be 5-1 at this point, the Saints. Now, they gets definitely more challenging at this point, moving ahead with the schedule, though. They have a Thursday night game at Arizona. Then it's a quick turnaround at the Raiders. Then there's a Monday night matchup against the Ravens. Then they have a trip to Pittsburgh. And then it's followed by 3 straight against playoff teams from last year, the Rams, San Francisco, and Tampa Bay. And so when I'm looking at that schedule now, I have the Saints at 8-5. And so they're right there on the cusp of going over that 8.5 total. Then to close the year, they have 2 very winnable games at home against the Falcons and Panthers again. They would do really good to go 1-1. They have 2 road games at Cleveland and Philadelphia. And so that would bring them to either 11-6 or 10-7. And so with a record like that, I mean, the Saints are they're going to get a wild card berth, and they're going to go over that 8.5 total. So my season win total, I'm going over.
Over the 8.5. I don't hate it at all. So yeah, let me ask you this. I remember one night where I just live bet so many times for the Bucs to come back against the Saints, and it just never happened. But that was the Saints with Drew Brees. So the Drew Brees, Tom Brady thing, that's a real thing for me. But is the Saints without Drew Brees such a threat against the Bucs now?
Well, there's still the Jameis Winston connection there. And so, yeah, Winston was a part of that winning against Tom Brady. And so, no, I do think that there's something there still. Because really the Saints feel like this is still their division. I mean, they was their division for so long until Tom came there. And so, they're going to go down. They're going to, go down fighting to the very end here to prove that. And so, I mean, and the early results the last 2 years, they do have the Bucs number. And so I don't know if they can get that week 2 game at home, then yeah, who knows about the second one later in the season.
And then would you agree that, like with the Buccaneers, we were talking about paying the Cowboy tax. We were talking about playing the Oklahoma Sooner tax. Is there a Tom Brady tax? I mean, there's got to be the Tom Brady tax right here.
No question about it. I mean, even the most casual sports fan knows who Tom Brady and the Buccaneers are. They don't even know anything about the NFL or football whatsoever. So there's definitely, as you say, a tax there for sure.
Yeah, because as you're saying, I mean, Bucs are a minus 290 with the 4th hardest schedule in this division. We've got the Saints at a plus 335 with the 7th hardest schedule. So it just seems like those numbers are way off right there to me.
Yeah, and I mean, it's not going to be easy for Tom Brady at this age, at 45 years old. He also lost his starting center in practice earlier, like about a week ago, and that's a huge blow to that line because they had such a dominant line. So there's issues for the Bucs here, and there's opportunity. I mean, I still like the Bucs to win the division. They have so much talent, but yeah, I also like the Saints to go over that win total and to probably get one of those wildcard berths.
What's the Gronkowski situation? He's done or he's playing again?
I have heard that he is done, but of course, anything is possible.
Yeah, he's so iffy about that. It makes me crazy.
Yes, I know, back and forth all the time. But I mean, how can you blame him with Brady's changing his mind all the time? But yeah, there you go.
I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of changing your mind, and I'm a woman. Okay. So what does that tell you? All right. We need to know these things, right? We're trying to bet on stuff here. We need to know who's going to be on your team and stuff. So we are going to roll with the over 8.5 total regular season wins for the New Orleans Saints. That's how we're playing it. Do you like them to win that division?
I don't. I like Tampa to win that division.
Okay.
Yeah, even though I think that, yeah, there's just so much talent on that team. They're going to lose some pieces, but I mean, every team is going to lose some pieces over the course of this year. So I still like Tampa to win the division. But I also think that there's great value there with the Saints. As you said, it's minus 290 and plus 350. So there's something going on there. But yeah, great value there. Go over and yeah, earn one of those wild cards.
Yes, absolutely. I would bet on the Saints for the division, but I'm digging your over 8.5 regular season wins. Tell the people what you're all about over at picksandparlays.net. You guys are always at the top of the leaderboards. The Insiders Room crushes it, y'all. Tell the people what you're into, Nick.
Thanks, Ali. Yeah, no, we're coming off, or we're going to look to close off the baseball season. We're currently ranked number 3 on the site this year, and so we'll look to finish that strong. And then now we focus on football, and the NFL preseason week 1 is now here. We finished 9-1 over the playoffs and Super Bowl last year. So we carry that record into our Thursday night game of the week. Come check that out at picksandparlays.net over at the Insiders Room.
Yes, do that. And when you do, don't forget about that promo code CFL. It's right there on the screen for you. Saves 20% off whatever you're buying from any of our cappers. Save that money. There's some value for you, people. Thanks so much, Nick Parsons, for joining us on the Power Hour. I'll see you again real soon.
Awesome. Thanks, Ellie.
No problem. All right, everybody, that just about wraps it up for us. Don't forget about that BetMGM promo. Use it. It's morning. It hooks you up with $1,000 and a risk-free first bet for all new accounts. Don't forget, if you're over at picksandparlays.net and you're looking for some some premium plays and stuff, use the promo code CFL. That'll save you 20% off whatever is in your cart at checkout. That could be the entire NFL pass for one capper. It could be an all sports pass for a full year. Anything that's in your cart, save 20% off. The Power Hour's on every Monday through Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern, so don't miss us. Sean Higgs has taken the Giants in the NFC East. Ross Benjamin has taken Texas in the Big 12, and Nick Parsons is going over 8.5 for the Saints win total. Thank you guys for joining us. I'm Allie Burns. Good luck, everybody, unless you're against us.